Good morning, and welcome to All Souls on this gentle, bright summer morning. My name is Pamela Patton. I'm the assistant minister here, and joining me in the chancel this morning is Spencer Williams, who is visiting us. He will be our guest preacher today. He is a sustainer of sacred spaces and a city planner who believes in neighboring, and you'll hear more about that in his sermon this morning. He and I are both graduates from Union Theological Seminary. We both have our degrees there, and he is bravely going on to get a doctorate there at Union again, and I'm so happy to hear about that, looking forward to hearing about that journey. And he is grounded in various contemplative and mindfulness practices, an appreciator of many different faith traditions. It's a joy to be with all of you who are here in the sanctuary, and a joy to be with those of you joining us by live stream this morning. We are a spiritual community of members and friends, and all are welcome. If you are new this morning, or new-ish, or visiting, or a sporadic visitor to us, would you just let us know who you are? Just raise your hand so that we can see who's new and new-ish. Great. We'd just like to know so we can welcome you, and so glad that you all are here. For those of you who we do not know yet, please fill out the pew card in the rack in front of you, or use the QR code and just let us know a little bit about you so that we can connect with you. We really do love to get to know everybody who comes here, and we'd love for you to get to know us a little bit better. Families with children and youth are always welcome in our sanctuary. We do have a nursery in the summertime for children ages 6 months to 5 years, just so you know, but all are welcome here with us. I also like to point out on the first page inside the order of service that we have a little bit of information about hearing assistance, and so if that's helpful to you, we'd like you to avail yourself of that, or help you avail yourself of that. And also to let you know that our services are filmed and live streamed, and for people who do not want to appear on the camera, you just appear very briefly if you do at all, but there are the last 3 rows in the back of the sanctuary where you can sit if you'd prefer not to be filmed. We have coffee hour after the service, and we encourage all of you to come to coffee hour after the service. It's down 2 flights of stairs, and we'd love to talk a little bit more with you, so please join us there if you have time, or if you're so inclined. I also want to say that we have great thanks to all of you for helping us to make our annual giving goal this year. We're really thrilled about that, and we want to thank you all for all that you've given us this past year. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, so we're just looking back on the past year and thinking about all the acts of generosity, all the things you've done to lead programs here, to contribute to programs here, to take good care of our community, and to give to our annual giving. We're grateful for all of that. Thank you all so very much for your care for this community. We'd love to stay connected with all of you, so if you don't get our email, please write to us at info@allsoulsnyc.org so we can send you an email about everything that's going on here. And now, please, if you haven't already, silence your electronic devices, or as Laura says, put them in church mode. And I invite you to quiet your hearts and your minds as we light our chalice. Our chalice lighting this morning is a poem from Jordan Jace. I want to write poems for construction workers and for dreamers, for revolutionaries, for deadbeats, and those on the low. I never want to ask, please fix us all. I want for us to want to patch every heart, to pave every road, and destroy every system that has ever left us broken. I want to sing like Frank Ocean, like Wonder, like Sonder, like Mariba, like the sea. I want to stop smoking because I want to live. I can only love my comrades if I live. And I want to clean my room. I want to clean my room every week. I want to cancel the rents, to know my neighbors, and to know my neighbors are safe. I want to move like water, to move from unity to struggle to unity, to have no perfect world we haven't fought for.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Anna, and I have the privilege of singing here at All Souls. When I came here to my very first rehearsal in 2023, I was a little surprised. The choir was rehearsing The Little Match Girl Passion, a contemporary work based on Andersen's The Little Match Girl, the heartbreaking story of a young orphan who dies of hunger and cold on Christmas Eve. Interesting choice, I remember thinking. At that very moment, I glanced at my phone and I saw that my mom was sending me photos from her vacation in the Bahamas. The contrast was impossible to ignore. Something shifted in me that day. I realized I wanted to be the part of the church that wasn't afraid to ask difficult questions through music, a church willing to embrace works that are stylistically adventurous, emotionally challenging, and deeply connected to the world we live in. I left that first rehearsal hoping I would be invited back, and I was fortunate enough to become a permanent member of the choir the following season. Since then, All Souls has become one of the musical homes I treasure most. Even after nearly 20 years as a professional singer, I still occasionally come to rehearsal and discover music that I cannot sight read on the first try. And I mean this as a highest compliment. It means the music here is alive. It challenges us, stretches us, and constantly invites us to grow as musicians. Every season, I look forward to opening the next folder of music because I know it will contain something unexpected. Although I perform in many different venues across New York City, singing here is always one of the highlights of my season. None of this is possible without you. The ambitious music we're able to share week after week exists because of the unwavering support of this congregation. You create a place where musicians can take artistic risks, where meaningful and provoking music is welcomed, and where excellence is valued. As musicians, believe me, we never take it for granted. It is a joy to sing a congregation that fills the sanctuary throughout the season and gathers so enthusiastically for our Musica Viva concerts and other musical events. Your presence, your encouragement, and support make this ministry possible. So on behalf of all of us in Music Program, I want to thank you. It's an honor to share this music with you, and we are grateful to be part of this remarkable community. Now please rise as you are able to join me for the bond of union. In the freedom of the truth and in the spirit of love, we unite for the worship of God and the service of all.
sorry, please rise again or stay risen for hymn number 124, Be That Guide. Please be seated. Our reading this morning is from the Community of Interbeing Manual of Practice, and it's the first mindfulness training, Reverence for Life. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion, and to learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and the earth. I am determined not to kill and not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, fear, greed, and intolerance, which in turn come from dualistic and discriminative thinking, I will cultivate openness, non-discrimination, and non-attachment to views, in order to transform violence, fanaticism, and dogmatism in myself and in the world.
For the city I want to inhabit. Spirit of wanting, help us to cultivate reverence with all that is possible in this, our shared life. Between our coming salvation and our greatest glory, so that we can truly become grateful for what is, without craving for anything unwholesome, engaging in our own life and in being here in our deepest desire to be loved and to love one another. Spirit of desire, help us know how linked we are, how each one of us cares, and each of those cares touches us all. Help us to ask for support when we are in need and offer our support to others when we are able, so that we may find the intention to build a more beloved community. Spirit of intention, help us to love ourselves as we love our neighbors, so that we might fully embody love and resist hatred. Help us to dream of the world as it should be and act to take up residence in that world with everything we do. Spirit of residing, help us to be resource this day and each day. Help us to be present in every moment for all that is our life with compassion, equanimity, loving kindness, and joy in the joy of others. For all this, we pray. Please stand if you're able for hymn 134.
This community, this living, breathing congregation exists because of care, because of generosity, because of the willingness for each of us to say, this matters and I want to help it thrive. The offering we give today is one expression of that commitment. It supports the music that moves us, the learning that shapes us, the care that holds us, and the justice work that calls us out into the world. Once a month, we have a Share the Plate Sunday, and today is one where we will share our offering with Saving Mothers, an organization of doctors and allied professionals dedicated to eradicating preventable maternal deaths and birth-related complications in low-resource settings. So as you give this morning, may we all do so with gratitude for what has been, for what is, and for what is still possible. We welcome your gifts in the offering plate, or you can use the QR code in the order of service or online on the screen. Our offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Greetings, beloved ones, my dearest neighbors. I hope that you are as well as you can be at this moment this morning. I am beyond delighted to be here with you as your guest on this Sunday, July 12th, 2026. I am speaking from the All Souls New York City Sanctuary, though we are also joined today by those of you online, those of you who may be viewing a recording of this service at some unknown time in the future, and all those who have been called or will be called to gather in this space. Some of you no doubt have brought those near and dear to you with you this morning. Some of you may also have brought those who are distant, and for those who you carry some significant care and compassion for in your hearts and in your minds. And in your bodies you have brought everywhere you have touched this day, and everything that you have come into contact with, be it the bird song outside, the water from the Hudson Valley in your coffee or your tea, or the momentary shade from the bus stop or the magnolia tree that's awaiting its nest blossoming. All of these are our neighbors, and we welcome them all here. With deep, deep reverence, I am grateful that we have all gathered here together in this moment. So this morning, I have come to share some insight with you, namely that an earnest commitment to neighboring, that in my view, in my experience, can become an exercise that helps us to move beyond proximity with one another, towards a more bodily and spiritual collective practice that allows us to really cultivate compassion and inspire wholesome action for ourselves and the world around us. For me, this foundational teaching of how to neighbor dances somewhere between the intersection of desire and deep, deep reverence. I'll spend some time this morning unpacking those a little bit and share what I have learned and continue to practice through these terms, as they have so much to offer us about this experience of being human, of being humble, and being here both with and for one another. On the surface, it may be strange for some of you to have a Buddhist speaking to you about the virtues of desire. While it's true that craving is a cause of suffering, desire can act as an essential driving force to come into better alignment with what is just and a transformed world as one that is embodied, reflected upon, and ever perfected. This shows up in the Noble Eightfold Path. And so when your desire is correct, when it's just, all of these things come into being. One of my early Dharma teachers told me a really wonderful way to remember the Eightfold Path. He says it's the payment for our lives. It's Visa, American Express, MasterCard. And so I'll go through those a little bit very quickly for you. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. To want to be in alignment with these items is to honor the commitment to do no harm. And I want to be right in the world. So to help further distinguish what we may call wanting, I want to offer these three concepts to help us distinguish desires in practice. First, a kind of grasping desire. This may be the unwholesome craving that I do not have, I deserve. It stems from this illusion of a separate self and the belief that external things will make us permanently happy. This kind of desire leads to attachment, to hoarding, to frustration, to suffering. Second, there's a wholesome desire. This may feel like the desire to act, to be of service in others' liberation and your own, and to progress spiritually through practice, through song, through dance, through presence. It includes intentions like practicing loving kindness, meditating, prayer, helping others. Because it is focused on well-being rather than possessing, it is felt as a healthy, driving force. And third, I would like to offer a kind of altruistic desire, the sort of essence of causes and conditions. It is this kind of mental intention that drives deliberate actions of body and speech and mind that are born from wisdom and insight. Because our intentions shape our behavior and condition our future, cultivating resourced, altruistic intentions is essential for ending suffering, for pursuing justice, and progressing towards a more beloved community. And so let us return for a moment to Jordan Jace's poem. When he says, "I want to know my neighbors and to know that my neighbors are safe," a kind of grasping might sound something more like, "I am alone and feel isolated from my neighbors, and I worry for their safety." A more wholesome desire might just be the simple statement, "I want to know my neighbors and to know that my neighbors are safe." An altruistic desire, one that is rooted in intention. I intend to know my neighbors, and I am committed to knowing that they are safe. When we talk about what we want in the world, and then commit to taking action to bring it about, that is an opportunity to call into practice the kind of world we want to build. And so is this, I think that we are all neighbors. We are all close, and I want to be close to you. For me, the word neighbor helps us mediate this kind of cultivation of a community of practice, a way of taking up residence and belonging to a place. But it is also the methods for being of service to those who are included in our broader neighborhood, including ourselves. Neighboring calls upon us to omit no one, to be non-discriminatory. Without this, quality, proximity, and boundaries can begin to be experienced as proxies for power, ownership, labor, voting rights, political representation, citizenship. This can also be experienced in the form of policing. Who do we surveil? Who is incarcerated? Who has freedom of movement? And who gets to have protected status? And on what terms? Whose status is temporary? But neighboring also depends upon place. It's the air that we breathe. It's the ability for any of us to say, I am a New Yorker. I live here. I am from here. I have a New York attitude. And what kind of access to opportunity and access to self-determination, whatever place we call home, gives us access to. And so standing here before you all this morning, I know that this is a place where I can self-determine how I want to practice my faith, how I want to be in community, how I want to share my wisdom with your wisdom, how I want your wisdom to inform the things that I know. And so in these places, we are always at risk of putting those who we may differ with further away from us. To neighbor, we must not think of ourselves as separate. To neighbor demands us to become resource with the skills, with the material abundance, with the qualities of heart and mind that are needed to cultivate and sustain regard, devotion, and interest in others. We are called as neighbors to demonstrate another way to live with one another. For me, I have come to understand that I am my nearest neighbor. Sometimes when we practice, it's very hard to sustain the sense of love for self. And so when we practice, we sometimes think of a pet or a child or someone else to get this feeling of warmth. As a policymaker and organizer, I have seen up close how altruistic intentions that omit the self can lead to burnout. I have witnessed parents and partners caring so overwhelmingly for their children and spouses that they lose themselves. I am no longer interested in this form of annihilation. I continue to be grounded in a commitment to being resourced by my practices, my prayers, and my community. It is in this spirit that I assert that it is less do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and more do unto myself as the other. I have found that this subtle shift has transformed how I am able to show up in my life because I am attempting to not turn away from my own suffering. And in doing so, I am practiced with shame and meeting it with compassion. I am practiced with isolation and transforming it through calling into presence beloved ancestors and all those who may be meditating with me across the world at any given time. I am assured that I am more resourced to show up for others because I have committed to not abandon myself, or rather not omit myself in my desire for safety, well-being, and ease. This sort of ethic of cultivation and embodiment that emerges through and beyond the self is the methodology within core Buddhist practice, particularly through the cultivation of a set of 4 sublime qualities known as the Brahma-viharas, or divine abodes. This is a kind of neighborhood. This is a place where we can live and reside in a place that is resourced to be loving and caring and bring about a more generous and collaborative world. They are noted as divine because their felt quality is unyielding and ever-resourced. If not by us, then by God, the divine, or the universe. They are well springs of transformative heart and mind qualities. In Buddhism, they are commonly known as loving kindness or metta, the wish for happiness and welfare of all beings. This kind of thinking and feeling replaces ill will and fosters a deep sense of connectedness. It is known as compassion or karuna, the empathetic desire to alleviate the suffering in others. This kind of heart and mind quality replaces cruelty and motivates helpful action. There is also mudita, or sympathetic joy, which allows us to rejoice in the good fortune, success, and happiness of others because we know that success and happiness within ourselves. It replaces the kind of envy and discontentedness that jealousy may breed. And upekkha, or equanimity, is the ability to remain balanced and impartial in the face of life's fluctuations. To not become frantic in the experience of impermanence as things change, as we want to go and grasp them, as we crave things being the same, as we want to be young again. or want to be in control when we're not. Equanimity helps to prevent attachment and resentment for the things that we once had or the things that we never held. Now, to these, I typically include something that's not traditionally Buddhist: grace and glory, as they are the embodiment for me of my Catholic and Lutheran traditions that informed my spiritual formation in my youth. And so puna, which is often translated as grace or merit, is the idea of this inner sense of well-being that comes from having acted rightly or well, and that enables one to continue acting well, but also, in this very Lutheran way, it is the ever-abiding grace that believes in the possibility to move towards justice. This kind of divine abode prevents unworthiness and aimlessness. It says that there is always a possibility to be on the right side and to be of help. And for glory, I turn to Siri, and no, not Apple's Siri, who you may ask for directions, but Siri as in splendor or beauty. This quality of reverence for life that is experienced beyond language or expression. This is the evidence of bodhicitta, or awakened mind and heart in the world. One of the ways that I like to say is when Little Richard says, "Wap bop a loo bop a lop bam boom," that's a moment of glory. Words can't begin to describe the feeling that that music transcribes. This could also be experienced as light coming in through stained glass, a stranger helping a parent with a stroller up the subway stairs, or any variety of moments. But what it does is it prevents isolation. It prevents lethargy. It says, I can still be moved by the magic in the world, and I will see it and know it and name it as such. In all of these qualities, I find a deep desire and reverence for a non-separate way of living, as expressed in statements often beginning with may I, may you, may we, and an ever-expanding circle of care that need not have any formal boundary. If I may, I would like to invite us into a moment of small practice, as taught to me in retreat by Sharon Salzberg of the Insight Meditation Society. In the version I was originally taught by Sharon, it was offered as a portable instruction for practice on the subway. I did it this morning on getting here. And so while sitting on the subway, as an example, you would start with oneself by offering wishes for well-being and ease. One might then be asked and instructed to extend that felt quality to others near, perhaps on the same seat or bench as you, and then extend it again to the entirety of the train car, or the entirety of the train, or the entirety of the train line, or to the platforms and subway entrances and sidewalks. And before too long, your practice that started with you sitting on the subway has encompassed the entirety of the city. This kind of practice is another form of expressing that you want to know your neighbors and to know that your neighbors are safe. We will similarly begin from where we find ourselves this morning and extend into the broader neighborhood. And so if you will join me for a moment, find a position that you can be comfortable in for the next 4 to 5 minutes. You all are good, because normally when I say that, people are shifting a lot. There's a lot of sound and movement, which means you're already comfortable. And that says something about this community. So we will begin by noticing the sounds that we can hear. We need not do anything to hear sounds. They may be inside of our bodies, a stomach gurgling, a joint cracking. It may be the slow hum of a car rumbling outside, or leaves rustling. Notice how the sounds come and appear and then go away. Bring some attention to your seat and where you're seated. How is your body connecting to the pews, to the ground, to the earth beneath you? Beginning with the self. You can say this quietly inside your head or quietly aloud. May I be safe and well. May I be filled with joy and laughter, and may that joy spread to others. If you are finding yourself finding some difficulty with generating some of this compassion for yourself, think of a child or a pet, something that you might have unyielding love for. Pay attention to this felt quality. Let your desire for wellness fill and extend beyond and through your body. Now I want you to extend this to everyone in your row. May I and the people sat beside me be well and know peace. May this entire pew know joy. Extend again this felt quality to the entirety of the sanctuary. Let it touch every single window and every surface, every column, every light, every pipe of the organ. May we all be well and know peace. Now let us extend that to the entirety of this block where the church finds itself. May we all know peace and be at ease. Now, if you can, imagine the whole of Manhattan, water to water, river to bay. May everyone on Manhattan, including myself, know peace and find ease. Now, I want you to take a moment and to extend this energy, this desire, this commitment, this intention that we may all be well and safe as far as your heart can handle. Be that the entirety of the city, the country, the hemisphere, the earth, the cosmos. Think of everyone who is near to you. Now I want you to pay attention to this felt sense that's coming back around for you, that's circling the globe and trying to find its way back to you. The love and the care and the compassion that you sent is coming back. It's looking for you. It's not less than it was or different than it was. It's coming with it, with the care and compassion of folks that you don't even know who are thinking of you and wishing for you to be well. And so come back from the coast, whether that's California or Texas. Come back into New York State. Come through Syracuse and Albany, through Brooklyn, through Staten Island. Return back here to this sanctuary and the pew in which you find yourself seated. Come back into contact with the boundary that is your body, connected to this seat in this moment. May we all know peace and live with ease. I will now invite you all to come back. Open your eyes if they're closed. And say that this is a portable exercise that you can do anywhere you are. You can extend this kind of care to people at the grocery store when you're checking out, or in line when you're getting a sandwich or a bagel. You can extend this kind of care when you're getting dressed in the morning, when you're putting on your socks or your shoes, to imagine everyone who's putting on socks or shoes at that same time. All of us in this practice of neighboring, of trying to be human and doing something together, yet alone. In one of my most sacred texts, the Lotus Sutra, it is often expressed that the totality of the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, and the teachings and the observations of the universe can only really be fully approximated when there is a Buddha with another Buddha. Clearly, this Buddha knows something that this Buddha does not. And so, this is the way that I have also come to understand the city. To transform the city and the places where we collectively live, we can only begin to approximate that together. Neighbor with neighbor. I need to know the things that you know. I need to know the ways in which you suffer and the ways in which you find extreme joy. Introduce me to your favorite cookie. Take me dancing. This is how we come to know each other intimately. By dropping proximity for intimacy, we get to come together. We get to share and be vulnerable. We get to transform this place that we all call home. I am so grateful to share this city with you. I'm blessed to call myself your neighbor. I want you to be well. And so, as you take this out into the world, I want to express one more desire for us all as we continue our day and continue to traverse this place. Thinking, speaking, and behaving like our lives matter and a more just community as possible. May we commit to truly being here together. May we become ever closer still to come to know and be known by one another. May we take up residence in loving awareness to create communities and conditions of care so that no one will be omitted, including ourselves. Amen.
Please rise and join in singing hymn 131, Love Will Guide Us. Please be seated. As we extinguish the light of our chalice, we carry the fire of commitment and the love of this community with us always. And now in our going, may love bless us and keep us. May the light of love shine upon us and out from within us and give us peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.